This escalated way faster than anyone expected because you don't move on from a first-round quarterback after 1 year unless something changed behind the scenes. And now, with Kyler Murray in and the room getting crowded, the question isn't just about competition anymore. It's whether the Vikings are already giving up on J.J. McCarthy. This might be a bigger problem than anyone expected because the Minnesota Vikings might already be moving on from J.J. McCarthy, before he ever really got a chance. And if that's true, this isn't just a roster decision. It's a complete reset of a plan that started just 1 year ago. Think about that for a second. First-round pick, franchise hope, a quarterback you're supposed to build around. And now, he might not even be on the roster by week 1. That's not normal. That's not development. That's a pivot. And it happened fast because just a few weeks ago, the expectation was simple. McCarthy competes for QB1, maybe wins it, maybe sits, but he's part of the future. Then everything changed. The Vikings go out and sign Kyler Murray. Not a bridge, not a backup, a 2-time Pro Bowler, a player you don't bring in unless you expect him to start. And just like that, McCarthy's path gets blocked. But here's the problem. It didn't stop there. Because then they bring back Carson Wentz, a veteran, an experienced starter, someone who's clearly overqualified to be a third-string quarterback. So now you have 3 names and only 2 real spots. And that's where it gets interesting. Because the odd man out might not be who people expected. It's easy to assume Wentz is the expendable one. Journeyman, short-term option. But here's the twist. There may not be a market for him. Teams aren't lining up to trade for a quarterback who's been on 6 teams in 6 years. McCarthy, that's different. He still has upside, still has value, still looks like a project someone might want to take on. And suddenly, trading him starts to make sense. Not because you want to, but because you can. And that's a dangerous place to be because now you're not deciding based on development. You're deciding based on market value. And that's how teams talk themselves into giving up too early. But that's not the full story, because there's another name quietly sitting in the background. Max Brosmer, an undrafted rookie, a player the Vikings reportedly like more than people realize. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. They're worried about losing him, worried he won't clear waivers, worried another team might grab him. So now the math changes. It's not just Murray versus McCarthy versus Wentz. It's Murray plus who? And if the staff believes in Brosmer, then someone has to go. And it might be the former first-round pick. And that's where this turns from surprising to risky. Because trading J.J. McCarthy now, you're selling low. You're admitting the development didn't go as planned. You're betting that Kyler Murray is the answer right now and that there's no reason to wait. That's a big bet, a fast one, and one that could define this front office for years. Because if McCarthy goes somewhere else and figures it out, this decision doesn't just look wrong. It looks reckless. So now the question isn't just whether the Vikings could trade him. It's whether they're really ready to live with what happens if they do.